The exam room display and hallway display screens are designed to enhance patients' experience in the exam room at the new Honickman Center for Specialty Care. When the patient arrives for her appointment, she checks in with an ambassador on the floor who marks her Epic event status as Sky Lobby. A medical assistant then assigns her to an open room in Epic and meets her in the waiting area. After confirming her name, the MA walks the patient to the exam room, takes her vitals along with other background information, and introduces her to the exam room display and its features. The patient doesn't need to change, so she taps "I'm ready" on the screen in front of her. This triggers the patient hallway display outside the exam room to turn green to notify the staff outside of the patient's readiness. While the patient waits for the provider to see her in the exam room, she decides to explore the exam room display's resources. She's curious to know more about who she's seeing today and decides to look through the Meet Your Care Team card. She feels comforted after knowing her care team's background and experience. The patient then decides to learn more information about Jefferson facilities and clinical trial programs by scanning the respective QR codes from the camera on her phone so she can take the information with her when she leaves. After about 10 minutes, she starts to feel nervous with anticipation. She remembers there's a relaxation corner feature on the whiteboard. She navigates to it and explores her options between listening to music, seeing virtual art, and guided breathing exercises. She decides to explore breathing exercises to calm her nerves. She's delighted with the options available to her. The music and visuals help her regulate her breathing and feel relaxed. The physician is now ready to see the patient. As she approaches the exam room, she first checks out the patient hallway display to make sure the patient is ready. She enters and introduces herself and initiates a conversation to learn about the patient's complaint. The physician begins the visit by logging into Epic to look at the patient's records. She flips on the A/B switch, which triggers the exam room display to act as an extended screen for the provider to drag and drop any reports or information she would like to share with the patient. Once the visit concludes, the provider switches back to the patient view. The provider then finishes her wrap-up notes in Epic, including details on the patient's next appointment, and shares with the patient that she will need simple follow-up scheduling. This is where she can begin the virtual checkout process. Because the patient does not need to change out of a gown, the provider flips up the camera cover and taps on Begin Virtual Checkout before leaving the room. This triggers the teledoc video call on the exam room display and puts the patient in the waiting list until the next available checkout staff member joins the call. While waiting, if for any reason she experiences challenges or extended wait times, she can tap the Need Help button for more assistance. If she must leave, she can tap Cancel Call and call the checkout number at her convenience. Once the checkout staff member joins the call, they help schedule follow-up appointments for the patient according to the physician's wrap-up notes and set the patient's Epic event status to checked out. The visit ends, the patient leaves, and the room can be turned over for the next patient to arrive.